Hi, this is Bruce Buffer, your voice of the Octagon, and you're listening to MMA Mental.
We are now joined by top UK prospect heavyweight James Mulheron. How's things with you, James?
Yeah, good, excellent, yeah. Spot on.
I know you recently had a big fight for the Made for the Cage heavyweight title against Paul the Titan Taylor, who's a very, very tough guy. And obviously you had a fantastic victory. Do you want to talk us through the fight?
Yeah, it was, I think it was going to be hard. Like, I've been watching like his videos beforehand, but I knew just the way I've been trained and stuff like that, I knew I could win. Like, I felt like I wouldn't have took the fight otherwise, obviously. But basically, it was going into it. It was I knew it was going to be like a tough boxer. It was going to be a tough fight. So I thought to myself, just go out and just give it the all, and just I basically just fought my fight. I just didn't think about. I did think about obviously how tough he was, but I concentrated more on my game plan than worrying about his. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. What's your game plan going into the fight? I mean, obviously we can talk about it now. I wouldn't have talked about it before the fight, obviously.
To be honest with you, I didn't really have a game plan. It was funny enough, like me and Phil were having a conversation about it like the day after, because I had to train with Phil straight after it because he was off to America.
Yeah.
And what basically said, you need to start working out game plans. He went, obviously, like now, like Phil was saying, like he doesn't go into a fight without having a game plan now. And he said you need to start working on one. And to me, I didn't really have a proper game plan. I just like thought to myself, I'm just going to go out and just fight my fight. It wasn't like anything specific. I know, like people say, "Oh, you worked on his leg," but it's just what I do. Like when I throw combinations, I always throw with kicks on the end and stuff like that. But it wasn't like a specific game plan for him.
Yeah.
I would have done the same as what I've done there against anyone else if I was fighting.
Did you feel though? Because obviously, I saw the pictures, and you obviously landed some brutal leg kicks during the fight. Did you feel that those leg kicks were there for you, and the more you threw, you could feel that they were wearing him down?
Did the what? Sorry.
The more that you threw, you could feel that you were wearing him down.
During the first round when I was hitting with him, like in training, if I like throwing, people say it hurt, but he was just like didn't look phased by them. And it wasn't until like I think it was like coming up at the end of the second round, I caught him with a big one, like a big leg kick. I dropped him, and it wasn't until then I didn't realise like he was his up until that last leg kick I hit him with.
Yeah,
and that's like what made him like. I've never seen the fight properly, but people say I caught him with that leg kick that made him like go down. It wasn't until that point when I started like hitting him with ground and pound with elbows. Like I thought, oh, he's hurt here. That was until that point in the fight, like the very end of the second round. I didn't realise he was getting chopped down. I wasn't thinking about, oh, I'm weighing him down here. It wasn't until that last point when I kicked him, I thought he was on his back and I was hitting him with the elbows. I thought, oh, he's hurt here. Try and go for it, keep going for it. And to be honest with you, I thought the ref was going to stop it again in a second, because when I was hitting him with like elbows, I could see like he didn't. Like, when someone's like it looked a bit dazed-ish.
Yeah. And
I was looking at the referee just to say, are you going to stop this? But like, obviously, you'd never do this. You should never do it. Just fight until the referee tells you to stop. But I think he was going to stop it then. But credit him, like Paul, he didn't stop. Like, he didn't give up. And when he went back his corner, and then obviously the corner guys like said, "Oh, you cannot continue."
Yeah, it just shows how tough he is, because I know you put quite a lot of pressure on him with your leg kicks and with the elbows. So what happens with your next then? Have you got another fight lined up?
I have, yeah. I'm fighting for. It's basically a guy called Darren Towler. He's from like the northeast as well.
Yeah.
He's got the European title for Made for the Cage.
Yeah.
So basically, we're going to unify like all belts. Like my British one goes on the line with his European one. So we're just going to unify the belts, and that's on the 25th of May.
So that's coming up quite soon. Are you excited to get back in there so quick after such a big win?
Yeah, I am. I just want to fight all the time now. Just say like I'm basically doing this like a job now, and I love it. It's just I think that once I've got my mind set on a fight, I like it. If I haven't got my mind set on for a fight, I kind of like I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like lost.
Yeah.
So. I like to have myself set at like I like to get like a fight as soon as possible sorted.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great as well having a promotion like Made for the Cage that's quite local to you? Because obviously it's one of the biggest promotions in the UK, and they're really doing big things at the minute as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're great. Dale and Scotty, they've got brilliant setup there. They try and run it as professional as possible, and they compare to like other shows. I mean, it's like they cut above the rest. I would, to be honest, it's put like, well, I've only fought on like, I think that's probably the second show I've fought on. I've been lucky that it's been such a good show to actually like find, pick up on and like fight for them. I've been lucky, really. It's been the Northeast.
Yeah. Now you mentioned Phil there. For those that don't know, obviously your training partner or one of your training partners is the UFC heavyweight Phil DeFries, who I think is ranked number 1 in the UK and is obviously doing well in the UFC. He's got a big fight coming up soon in Sweden. Do you know, what's it like training with Phil on a daily basis?
Yeah, it's great. It gives you so much confidence because he's grappling and his jiu-jitsu levels are like ridiculous. And people don't realise how tough a guy is. Like we're training with him like day in, day out. And I mean, it's like it's not half-hearted like just normal sparring. It's like we'll go in together, but it's great because we're like really good friends as well. So we can go in, we can try and bash each other to pieces. Then we just like at the end we just talk and have a laugh afterwards. But for the training where he's given has been like I wouldn't like be like where I am doing my fighting if it wasn't for him. He's like helped us all the way through, even from the start of like the semi-pro career. Really, it was only my second semi-pro fight. I started training with him, and then ever since it's just been like training with him every day, being partners together. And I went over to America for his fight with Todd Duffy.
Yeah.
I went over into his last 3 weeks in his camp with him. That was brilliant, a really good experience, and it's a good time I had over there.
Who were some of the people you got to train with in America?
I trained with Phil Davies most days, drilling, boxing with him, wrestling with him. Because Phil, when he had the fight, doing Pacific stuff with him. So I did train with Phil DeFries, obviously. I was mostly training with like Phil Davies and Joey Beltran, and a few others, obviously, as well, who's ever actually like overanalyzed all of them, really. Like the lightweights and stuff. It was excellent. It was a really good experience.
Gonna say it must be. You can learn so much from training with those kind of top level guys. It must have been amazing to get over there and get in and train with some of these people. Oh,
it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. That's the same. Like, feel like he gives us that opportunity for us to go and do it. Like to take us over, like his cornerman, and have the experience to do it is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
I know you've got again from speaking to Phil. You've got a very solid camp. Where you train as well. Do you want to let people know some of the people that train at your camp as well?
Yeah, well, at the Fight Pit,
yeah,
it's, up in Shiny Row, it's brilliant. It's the same as the Sixth Sense as well. We've got like Kurt Warburton's there, Colin Fletcher, who's fighting obviously next week in the UFC.
Yeah.
Ryan Scopes there, Daz Warner, Luke Harriman, and Chris. Loads of people I mentioned. That's only just a few of them. But I'd say like some of the greatest training there. You'd go anywhere in the Northeast, and I think you struggle to find a new place better to like train with them guys there. Really, and it's the same as Sixth Sense. Where like other days when we'll meet up, we'll go to Sixth Sense as well. That's like Alexander's gym.
Yeah,
and we'll go there on the Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, and it's the same kind of training there. Like the same guys who go to the Fight Pit will meet up there and train as well. It's good. It's good training.
I know you're undefeated as a pro. Are you undefeated as an amateur as well?
Yeah, like semi-pros undefeated. I was like 6-0 semi, and then 2-0 pro. I am.
It's fair to say you've got one hell of a career ahead of you. I mean, obviously you're already training with some of the biggest names, not just in the UK, but beyond the UK as well. And obviously you've already beaten one of the more established heavyweights in the UK. Obviously within Paul the Titan Taylor, who's made waves himself in UC MMA. So obviously I know you've got a fight coming up in May. Hopefully we might get a chance to speak to you just before the fight and have a chat about that fight close to the time. But we really appreciate you coming on and having a chat today, and we look forward to seeing where you go from here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Before we let you go, do you want to do any shout out? Shout out any sponsors or any friends or family?
Yeah, I'd just say like all my friends, girlfriend, My dad for helping us train as well. All the guys at the Fight Piss, all the guys at Sixth Sense. Big shout out to my sponsors, because I wouldn't be able to do it without them. They've helped us all the way through it. I've got MEM, refrigeration guy. He's helped us pay for me rent and stuff like that. Got Richmond Taxis helping us pay for stuff as well. I've got a Mamatage Indian restaurant Long Ocean Road, Be Supreme. I've got my strength and conditioning coach. He's doing everything for us at the minute, helping us massively. Elite Underground, if you check that out, you see it on my Facebook. The rooftop bar where I work, they've been a massive help to us as well. And Combat Soap, these helped us. And I think that's about it. I missed anyone off.
That's
I'm sorry if I
brilliant.
missed anyone off.
Well, thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Absolute pleasure.